when I think of Da Vinci, it's just crazy. But anyways, Da Vinci famously said, to develop a complete mind, study the science of art, study the art of science. Learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. What does this mean? This means that he understood that he could study art in a scientific way, and he could study science in an artistic way, and that what he was told reality wasn't the way that it was. Maybe we perceive reality by the constructs that we've been given and not for what reality actually is. If you want to develop a complete mind, you need to develop multiple aspects of your life. That's why the same thing with your mastermind. You went and you developed a more complete mind because you learn from people, from aspects that you'd never even recognize were reality. Learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. Mm-hmm. So how you do fitness is how you do business. How you're honest with yourself is how you're going to be honest with others. Everything connects to everything else. So Leonardo da Vinci, massive inspiration, mentor to me. Leonardo da Vinci famously said, God will sell you anything at the price of labor. And that is true. So what you have to do is, if you want something, you have to work for it. Mm-hmm. And most people that think that the world is based off of luck have never truly worked for something. Not enough to understand that luck does not exist. It's merely a game of probabilities. You work hard, you work more, you work longer, and eventually you can increase your odds of success. Leonardo da Vinci famously said, to develop a complete mind, study the science of art, and study the art of science. Yeah. Learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. Then he continues to say, he says, God will sell you all things at the price of work. God will sell you all things at the price of labor. So first, you need to understand that everything connects to everything else. So how you treat your wife, how you treat your kids, it's going to reflect how you treat your employees, how you treat the waitress, how you cheat in business or how you're loyal in business. It's going to be a reflection as to everything else that you do. So to develop a complete mind is to understand that everything is in unison, everything is in harmony. And to not be in harmony in one area is to be dysfunctional in everything. It's like having a toothache. Being ripped, six-pack, tan, great physique, but you have a toothache. Yeah. Everything is miserable. So unless you develop a complete mind and full focus and understand that God will give you anything, but you have to work for it. Yeah. You have to exchange and transmute this energy and this life power and this life will into creating, materializing something into the universe, into the physical world. It's going to take labor, but you have to do it with unison and completion. If not, you're not going to win.
The reason that everything connects to everything else is because you're interacting with it. So it's how you perceive life and who you are that's going to dictate how you see everything. You'll interact with your marriage, your relationships, your business partners, your employees, your colleagues, the same way you operate with everybody because it's who you are. Mm-hmm. The reason skill stacking is extremely important is because it gives you the ability to, one, become multidimensional, which we talked about. Two, it's understanding that the skills that you're stacking can also be applied to different areas of life. That's why I call them interchangeable or interlinked skill sets. Mm-hmm. How you sell, for example, you can utilize selling in your relationship with your children, in the relationship with your business partners, in your contract deals. Persuasion, you can utilize it in multiple verticals of life. So you can take your toolkit or your set of skills and apply it to multiple dimensions. Your ability to negotiate, your ability to market. You know, that's why skill stacking is super important at an early age, because it positions you and gives you an advantage over people that are very niched in the marketplace.
Leonardo da Vinci famously said, to develop a complete mind, study the art of science and study the science of art. Learn how to see. Realize that everything connects to everything else. To understand that suffering, sacrifice, connects to everything else, that it is an equation to success. You accept it as a necessary ingredient to get to the top. Why? Because most people are not willing to do it. Most people are not willing to put in the extra mile. Most people are not willing to put in the extra necessary labor. They're not willing to invest in themselves. They're not willing to go through the sacrifice or the potential loss. But when it's all said and done, you and I are going to end up in the same place. We're going to end up in the grave. So how risky is life? It's super risky. We're going to die, right? That's the end game. So what is there truly to lose? Nothing. You just realize that it's part of the equation And when you understand that everything connects to everything else, you begin to develop a complete mind. And a complete mind is a mind that lives in a state of sobriety.
And it really, I think one of the characters in history that inspired me was Leonardo da Vinci. Leonardo da Vinci was this crazy guy that studied he has this quote that says, to develop a complete mind, study the science of art, study the art of science, learn how to see, realize that everything connects to everything else. And he was a master of philosophy, a master of mathematics, a master of the science, a master of music, a master of human anatomy, a master of painting. And my entire premise of life is to become the best version of me. I'm not here to compete with anybody, I'm here to create. And I think that allows me to operate out of a place of freedom, because I'm never looking at what somebody else is doing. I'm always looking at how can I improve myself. Because once you have, like we talked about, this concept of self-education, and you know where you want to go in life, then nothing's going to stop you. Most people are directionless, bro. Most people don't know where they're going. They don't know what they want in life, so they have to look at somebody else to guide them. I don't need somebody else to guide me. I don't need somebody else to guide me. I know what I want of life. I know what I want from life. I know who I want to be with. I know what I want to become. Am I there yet? Far from it. But once you know where you want to go, all you have to do is follow the daily routines and the steps and the process and the ingredient list, the recipe list to get there. So no competition, only creating.